Hi guys, this is Tito from Magis Inc. And right now I'm with the guy in the number one rep in the nation for Costco division, and his name is Nick Deering.
How's it going, guys?
So Nick is here in Dallas right now. We're having a Keys to Success conference, and this is one of the most powerful conferences that Smart Circle does for every owner in the company. And Nick, I had an opportunity to meet him in the same team, and right now I just want to know, Nick, how did you get started with this business?
That's a good question, Tito. Originally, I think I might have found an ad on Craigslist. I was already working another job, and I didn't know if this kind of job was going to be something that was legit. I didn't know if it was door to door. I didn't really know what it was. So honestly, I decided to give it a shot because I didn't have anything to lose. I already had a job, and so I said, hey, if this doesn't work out, if it's sketchy, if it's some kind of pyramid scheme or something crazy, I'll just quit it because I'm already good. So I tried it out. My promoting owner, Robert Grego, also out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, promised me that it was a manager training program. He said that if I worked the numbers and I did what he told him and I did well and I showed it in my performance, that he would promote me before anybody else, and that it wasn't there was no seniority, and that was the biggest thing for me, knowing that my results and my future depended on what I did and how well I did it. So when he told me that, I said, all right, well, I'll give it a shot. And slowly but surely, everything he said came to pass. When I got my paycheck, it was what he said it was going to be. I hit the qualifications, and he promoted me just like he said he would. And it kind of just took off from there, and I've never looked back. And eventually, I started making so much money with this job that I had to quit my other job because it didn't make sense to be there. I was losing money when I was not here.
Oh, so you're making so much money as a,
as a rep,
as
just
a rep.
as a rep, yeah.
Okay.
Even as an entry level rep, I think my second or third check was more than what I made at a month at my other job, and the math is simple.
Awesome. I kind of like this, the idea that you were telling you found this job in Craigslist because that's the same thing.
Right.
When I found this job.
Yeah,
but
that's crazy.
right now you're an owner. How long did it take you to hit that ownership?
Let me see. Well, I'm gonna say a couple of months. I'm gonna say about maybe 6-7 months or so.
6-7 months.
Yeah.
And what did you do? What are the things that you did in order to get to the next level? And what are the biggest challenge each level?
So you want me to walk you through each level that
Yes,
I have to go
absolutely.
through?
There's 3 steps.
They all grow back to sales, honestly, originally. But the first thing, you write a ton of sales. You have to be able to write sales because the point of this program is being able to teach other people how to sell and write sales. So if you can't write sales, this isn't the thing for you. So writing sales, definitely, that got me promoted to supervision. I know in our office it was 7 installs in 1 week at the time, or 6 installs 2 weeks in a row. So I think my second or third week I had like 13 sales, and I think 10 of them went through and I got promoted. The hardest thing about that level was staying focused and committed to it and understanding that there's a bigger picture, not just a big paycheck. The next level after making supervision was assistant manager, and that's obviously you being able to train other people. So the biggest thing about that is showing that not only can you do it, but you can show other people how to do it as effectively, if not better than you. So now you're relying on other people to not only understand and comprehend what you're telling them, but then to go out there and execute it and give it 100% and want it as much as you. Because if they don't want it as much as you, then you're kind of wasting your time. So that I guess the hardest thing about that was, I guess, just staying persistent, because you run through a lot of supervisors. I'm sure you know how it is. You train a guy,
Yeah.
He quits, or he makes supervision, then quits, and he just doesn't stay with it. So you're juggling guys constantly, and it's easy to get negged out because you run through so many people, and you get guys at the office that look like a stud, and you think for sure they're going to be a supervisor in a week, and they don't pan out. So the biggest thing is just staying persistent and understanding that this is what comes with the business, and the more practice that you can get with that will make you a better owner, because when you become an owner, same thing. You'll train people, you'll hire people, you'll fire people because they don't stay around. And then after making assistant manager, the biggest thing, I guess, was when you become a manager, being able to recruit and just listening to what we learned at these conferences and then going and executing. Because everybody gets pumped up, everybody writes notes, everybody types their stuff in their iPad or whatever, and then they get back and forget everything, or they're pumped up for that day, for the impact, but they don't execute. So I guess the hardest part, like I said, about being a manager is same kind of thing, just understanding the bigger picture and being patient about it.
Okay. And right now you're an owner.
Yes, sir.
Right. What does it take to be a Nick Deering? Like, what is different for you
That's a good question, man.
to hit those numbers on a consistent basis? Because other people, they can hit those numbers, big numbers. However,
Right.
consistency is key.
Right. Well, thank you, Tito. I appreciate it. What does it take to be a Tito, man? I heard you did what, 80-something sales at 4 stores. That's more impressive, man. I got my 2 little locations, but I guess what makes me me, I think that separates me from a lot of other people is that I want it more. And I know that sounds silly, but a lot of people say they want it. A lot of people will come out here and say, yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that. But do you really, really want it? Do you really want it? Does it consume you? Does it become you? It's become me. Like this, to me, is the means to provide my family a lifestyle that they would not otherwise have without me joining the military and being there for 10 years or, being at a job for 15, 20 years, maybe you 40, 50, and then you finally get to enjoy the success or the fruits of your labor. I don't have time for that. I want to be 6 figures and better, if not 7 figures by the time I'm 30. I have things that I have to do, and I feel like there's things that I want my family to have, and they're not going to have it 10 or 15 years from now. I'd rather die before that happens. I want them to have it now. And so I think about that every single day. Every sale, every person I train, every conference I go to, every recruiting thing that I do, everything. It consumes me. I think about it every day. If this is all I have to do for them to have that lifestyle, it's a done deal. I would do 10 times more for them to have that lifestyle. And if this is all I have to do is teach people how to sell and build people and run a business and be my own boss, that's it. Of course, it's stupid. I mean, some people don't get it, and it's not for everybody. Some people are happy with an average lifestyle. I'm not happy with that. My family doesn't deserve that. They deserve better. That pushes me every single day, and I never stop thinking about it.
And the key to this business as well is all about leverage. You're
Yes.
talking about, once you become an assistant manager, you have to be able to duplicate yourself. What is your key in training people? What is the mindset and also your style?
Well, my key in training people is pretty simple. If you just give me 1 second here, I wanted my brother to see this. Can you hold that for me, man? Would you mind recording this too?
My phone just died.
Okay, perfect. So the question is, how do I train people?
Yeah, how do you duplicate yourself? What do
Is it
you
recording still?
Well, it's flipped around to me. So.
Oh, okay. You good?
Oh, I'm looking at myself. I don't want to do that.
Here we go. We got it. Let's restart that there. There we go. Technical difficulties, people. Sorry about that.
we're cool. We're
good.
live.
Okay,
So
we're live. Stuff happens. Cool.
Yeah.
Training people, the hardest thing is you just have to find that balance. You can't be an enemy with the person where you're too hard of a boss on them and like a drill sergeant, but you can't be their best friend either. So you have to find that balance where they understand that you're there to build a relationship with them, and that you can reach out to them and they understand that they can come to you if they're having questions or struggling, and they can't be scared to come to you for questions, because when you're too much of a boss, then they're not going to be able to come to you and ask you questions. They're going to feel like he's going to make me look stupid if I ask this question. So you don't want that to happen. But at the same time, if you're too friendly, they're not going to respect you when you have to enforce things and discipline and put your foot down. So really finding that balance is what I do. But the first thing I do when I get a guy that I'm training is I'm going to ask him what his goals are, because I have to understand what he wants and what he's trying to do to be able to motivate him. Mm-hmm. His motivation might be something as simple as a car. If his motivation is a car, I'm going to say, hey man, you know what? If you write X amount of installs, you understand you're going to make X amount of money. We'll get you your car. I'll help you. If you want to put me down as a reference, whatever you want to do, we'll make sure we get you that car. It might be, flying his family out here or buying something for his daughter or more time with his family. Hey, get to management. If you get to management, you don't have to be in the field. If you're not in the field, you got more time to spend with your family. So you have to find out what it is that individual wants and help them push it. You don't want to oversell it. You don't want to tell them they're going to be a millionaire. You don't want them thinking that they're going to take over the world together. But at the same time, they have to understand that you're going to give them a goal and you're going to help them reach that goal.
Awesome. And every single week you're producing numbers and also you're banking. Right?
Yes, sir. I try.
And what are the habits that you need to form as Nick Geary? I mean, what sets you apart from others?
As far as finances, or
no, habits.
Oh, habits.
Inside the store.
I find a pattern and I stick to it. I mean, every time when I first started in the field, what I used to do is I would just take a mental note of every single sale that I wrote and remember what worked well. Until I remember all these things and I collected all these things, and then I have a format and a system that works me, that fits my personality and my customers in my territory. And I've just grown with that. So consistency with that and just other habits, really just, again, it goes back to really, man, wanting it more, honestly. If you think about it every day, you're going to do what you need to do every day. Getting up on time, being there early, treating early like it's on time and treating on time like it's late. Mm-hmm. Being a man or a woman of your word. When you're saying you're going to do something, do it. And I think the customers that I sign up trust me, and they understand that when I tell them I'm going to do everything to make sure that they get what they want, and that the things that I guarantee because I can, and I'm not just telling them things to get them signed up. And so that builds a good relationship with your customers in the store, and they they, a lot of times will give you compliments to the managers, and they do the surveys and mention you, and they refer people to you, and they're bringing you people, and now you're making money on days when you're not even at the store because, somebody's, letting you know that, hey, we got somebody that wants to sign up, and it's just a great thing. So it all goes back to desire and wanting it more and just following the basics, the 3 must and all that kind of thing.
Awesome. And what is the mindset how do you prepare yourself for a good day?
For a good day? My mindset is there is no such thing as a good day because every day is a good day. Every day is a good day. I don't give a damn if it rains, snowed, whatever. I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to bust out multiple apps every day. A bad day, I'm writing 1 or 2 sales on a bad day. That's my mentality. There's no way I'm leaving the store without at least multiple sales today. And again, if you're in a region where you feel like it's slow or whatever the case is, you can't do that. We've had territories, or not territories, but stores in every territory where people say, oh, you can't write sales in this store. They're mean here. The customers don't like it. And we go there and we show them how to write sales. So you can't approach it with the defeated mentality. That's the defeated mentality when you say, oh, man, I'm here today. It's not going to happen. Your mentality should be, I'm going to set a record today, and I'm going to impress my owner and my supervisor and write sales here in a store that they thought was not doable.
Awesome.
So that's how it happened.
Awesome. And can you give us a sample? What's your favorite pitch? I know there are a lot of pitches.
There's a lot of different ones, honestly. I think that
a couple, maybe two.
Well, I'm going to give you the pitch that I use, and
Okay.
it's not going to sound like anything spectacular. I'm going to tell you now, but it's not what you say; it's how you say it.
All right.
So my pitch is going to be more of a, "Hello, sir, ma'am. You doing all right today? Okay, great. If you need anything at all, let us know." And then, as I kind of get ready to end the conversation, I'll say, "Oh, and by the way, you are aware of the deal that we're doing today, right?" And they're going to answer yes or no. Obviously, if they answer yes, maybe they already heard about it or just don't want to be bothered. And, especially if you're in a Costco, really in any club, even if you're in a Sam's, you don't want to really be too pushy with the customer, so you'll dead that. But if they say no, then you go right into, oh, well, we're doing this event here at Costco. You can get DirecTV through us. We have great pricing because you're at Costco, and, go into whatever else it is that you use to run your spiel. But that opening line, that's the big one. You have to be very nonchalant, casual, and relaxed about it.
Nice.
So just be relaxed. You don't want to put any pressure on them. You can't be too cheesy, and you can't sound like a salesman. Oh, well, we're saving people tons of money, or have you heard about the savings event? That sounds cheesy. It sounds like a salesman, so you just don't want to do that. You want to be calm, and you want to be relaxed.
And you were talking about indifference.
And exactly, that's indifference.
Can you expound more about that?
Indifference is really more so just acting like you're not desperate for a sale, because if the sale's so good, why are you so desperate? If this is selling great and everybody's taking advantage of it, you wouldn't be so hungry for a sale. It's almost like a first date with a woman. You can't go on a first date with a woman and, oh, please, can we have another date? Or please, can you invite me up for coffee? You can't do that because you look like a desperate guy, and she's never going to deal with you again. You're not going to get a second date or anything further. So very similar to that. You just have to treat it like you've been there before, not doing the crazy celebration dance in the end zone, like you've scored before this touchdown, you know what I mean? So just having that mentality that I'm going to do the best of my ability, like I know I'm very capable of, and explain this deal to this customer. It's a great deal because the facts are the facts. The picture quality is better. It costs less. We have the NFL ticket. They're getting a gift card no matter what retailer they're in, so it sells itself. So if they're not going to take advantage of it, there's going to be another customer that is. And that customer, if I did a good job, at least on the customer service end, they might go home and think about it and come back on another day. I've had a lot of sales where people, you know what, I thought about it, and I came back and I talked to my husband or I talked to my wife, and you know what, we want to kind of check this out. Can you give me some more information? And they'll come back in, and that'll be a sale I'll get later. I'm not desperate for that one person to sign up because I know for a fact I'm going to sign up multiple people today regardless. So that's the other thing, is just having faith in your product, having faith in yourself, and just keeping it simple and being relaxed.
Awesome. And one last thing. What is the best advice you've ever received?
At life or in this program?
In this program.
In this program, that's a good question, man. You got me thinking deep here. I'm going to think here. The best advice that I think I've received is, it wasn't really advice, it was a statement that stuck with me. And I've heard it from Mike T and Brian McWigan both. And I think most recently I can quote Brian. I think he said something to the effect, it might have been this meeting or the last Keys to Success meeting. And I think it was the last one. And he went around the room and he asked all of us why we wanted to do this program and why we wanted to be a manager and why we do what we do. And I think he started by answering the question himself, and his answer matched exactly what I thought. And his answer was something I actually said earlier, and he said, it's not the money that I want, it's having an above average lifestyle. It's having the freedom to be able to do what I want. And that has always stuck with me and driven me to be where I want to be. I've never really needed any kinds of motivation, or I haven't asked for advice. I ask for help all the time. I call Carlos Sainz I call Brian McWigan, I call my promoting manager, Robert Grego. But my motivation from day one has been when my promoting owner sat down and showed me the program, how quickly I can move up, and then him following up with his word as I did those things. That's all I ever needed. My paycheck that I got every week from working as hard as I worked, that's all the motivation I ever needed. Seeing my boss being able to get an office where his daughters can come in there every day, that was very motivational to me, seeing that they can, he set it up where he can still spend time with his family, run his meetings and all that kind of thing, and be out of this, out of the office, by 2, 3 o'clock at the latest, and have the rest of the day to be with his family. That was all the motivation I never needed. I never needed an impact after that. These things are great. We learn things. We get inspired by other people. But at the same time, that's all the motivation I ever needed.
Awesome. And if there's a new guy,
Mm-hmm.
let's just say they're brand new in the business right now,
Okay.
watching this video.
Yes, sir.
What can you tell them?
If you're a new guy out there and you're watching this video, first of all, you got a great owner here, Tito. He wants it, I can tell. And Carlos Sainz spoke very highly of him. So you have to trust in what he says, because I trusted in my promoting owner. If you don't have that relationship, it's not going to go. So trust Tito. Number 2, have a relationship with Tito, because you need to understand that you're not going to move up this program unless he doesn't sign off on you. So I knew in my mind that I felt that I was 100% ready, but I was always with my promoting owner, hey, where do you think I need to be at? Because I know the recommendation is not going to come from anybody else but you. So you need to get with them, have a 30, 60, 90-day goal, whatever it is, or just management if that's your goal, and you need to make sure that you're checking off everything he feels that you need to check off. And last but not least, you need to understand this is a special thing. Everybody can't do what we do. Mike T says it a lot that 90% of America has an average or below average household income or whatever it is, and only a small percentage lives above average. So you have to decide: are you the majority, which is average, and that's fine for some people, not a knock against that, or are you the above average? And are you willing to do what that 2-3% of America does to be that 2-3%? You can't do what the 90% of everybody else does and expect to live the lifestyle and have the things that the 2 or 3% have. So you have to make up your mind: are you willing to put in this work? You're not going to be making $100,000 a year overnight. It's not going to happen today instantly, but it does start today. So you have to decide for yourself: is this something I want to do, or do I need to have a 9-to-5 job? So make sure this is something you really want, and I promise you, if you really want it and you put all of yourself into it, not part of yourself into it, you will have it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Nick Deering.
Thank you, Tito. Appreciate you, brother.
For your time.
Okay.
And hope you learned a lot, and we're going to get some more of these guys.
See y'all here at the next meeting.
Have a good day.
Cool.